So I've done so many videos on how to become a freelance video editor, the beginner's guide, as we call them. A brilliant playlist that I feel like I really helped me take off this channel and really move it into a new direction with learning and showing different ways and different routes on how you can become a freelance video editor. But the problem is there's no ultimate guide. In all of those videos, you've got to piece together everything. In this guide, I'm going to show you exactly how to become a video editor. I know this video is a little bit more formal than what we're used to. I'm usually just cotched up with a jumper, you know, not feeling myself. But I want this video to be nice and polished so you can come back to this video, take your time, watch each little bit, and hopefully it helps you. Hopefully this helps somebody. It could just be a big old waste of time. But as I said before, this is going to be kind of the ultimate guide. So it's going to be all those videos pieced together. They're going to be useful because those go more into detail in some of these topics, but this is going to cover the whole coin, if that makes any sense. So with no further ado, let's just jump straight into the ultimate guide of becoming a video editor. Jesus Christ, that's a big title, isn't it? So the first question that we have to ask ourselves when wanting to go down this route, just like any other job, and that is, what kind of video editing do you want to be doing? And I don't think people quite understand this when first getting into video editing, that it is just like any other job. You can go through so many different routes to becoming a video editor. There's loads of different versions of actually becoming a video editor, and there's loads of different kind of job roles of being a video editor. And here's a couple of ideas of maybe where you could go down the routes and some different genres. You've got YouTube general videos, which could consist of editing general kind of style videos for a load of general YouTubers. You've got YouTube gaming, which is a branch of its own, which can be hyper, more condensed, more fast-paced video editing. You've got corporate video editing, so that's editing companies and stuff like that. You've got freelance in general, which freelance just means you basically, it's the Wild West and you take anything and everything that is really going in that's in my experience for sure. You've got full-time corporate, which is where you join a company who's a corporate company and you are their video editor and you create content for their social medias and stuff like that. You've got full-time general, which is where you just go for a general company. It doesn't have to be corporate. Maybe it's more film-based company and you could aim for something like that, where you're editing more movies and kind of polished short films. Or you've got full-time YouTube, which is where you do normal, you know, general or YouTuber gaming style YouTube videos. Does that make any sense? But you just do it full-time, which is very common these days, because I can tell you this, if I had the income from YouTube, I definitely would be getting a video editor. So what I want you to do with that information is I want you to start writing down, draw yourself a mind map of where you kind of aim to be targeting your video editing skills. What's your favorite genre? Obviously, pick something that you enjoy doing, because at the end of this sentence, you've got to enjoy what you're doing. You've got to enjoy the job every single day. So now you decided which route you want to go down, you have to start looking at your social presence. I've talked about this in other videos and I go into it into further depth, but that can be from anything like sorting out a profile picture to creating a cover letter. It also covers how you hold yourself online. So if you're a video editor, you want people to know that you're a video editor. You want people to understand exactly what you do. So when they are looking for video editors, the SEO rankings of, say, Facebook or Twitter always show you up the top. So some of these socials where it's important to get on and show yourself and be active is places like Twitter, places like LinkedIn, Facebook, and even Instagram to a certain extent. Use these as sort of your portfolio, a place to show people what you do, your best bits. And that's how I had another Instagram, which was all about how I, you know, showed off what I did as a video editor. You know, people spend so much time on social media. It's a great place to actually get yourself noticed doing what you're doing and have it as a mini little portfolio, but also showing people getting to know you. But please, oh please do not overshare your life. Don't overshare your bits and bobs, because, you know, it's work. That's how you have to start seeing social media. So make sure you have a good profile picture showing who you are. Make sure you are active in communities. Make sure you have cover letters and kind of spiels about what you do. Maybe your posts are showing pieces of work, how you did something, and kind of proof of work, and being a cover letter that helps you embark on your video editing journey. So now you've decided what you want to do and you've sorted your social presence out. The next thing that you're going to do is work on a showreel. I've just created a video showing showing how to make a show reel out of nothing and did a live stream all about it. So there's a link up there, or there, whichever side it's going to be, to that video. It's a great video that shows you exactly how you can do it. And we did it. You can do it with absolutely no footage. So it's a good stepping stone on getting there, but it's not where you want to end up being. That video and that kind of genre of show reels is specially for somebody who has no portfolio. You want to get your work in there and show people really what you're good at as soon as you can. The show reel needs to firstly be targeted. Who are you targeting with this show reel? Like I said before, is it corporate? Is it YouTube gaming channels? Is it just overall? Is it TikTokers? You know, who is your video editing skills for? And within that show reel, you need to be telling them exactly what you're offering. How are you going to be different from everybody else? And then also inside that, what are your greatest strengths? You might sit there thinking, I have no idea how to answer that, but you will. Just sit and take your time. So for example, if you're highly skilled in After Effects or you have a passion with animation, make sure to let that know in your show reel. Think of it as a video format for your CV. Nothing different than that. So now we've sorted out your show reel, we've got to go into looking for work. There are so many places, and we've been over this so many times. I'm pretty sure episode 2 of Beginner's Guide talks about it. But like I said, we've talked about this topic loads. Depending on what route you want to take to becoming what kind of video editor, it's going to differ for each and every person. So if we're looking at YouTubers, we're going to be looking a lot on Twitter. It's a great place for YouTubers to kind of put a job application out there, and a lot of the time it works. Be active in the communities and have your show reel and everything to the ready. Have your profile as a supporting, document to what your actual work is. So maybe pin a really cool video that you make right at the top. And using Twitter, like I said, you'll find YouTubers and smaller jobs within it. But then if you want to branch out, there's other websites like Indeed, where Indeed will show you exactly the biggest jobs that you could probably get. So that's mainly aiming at full-time corporate and even full-time YouTubers. Looking at higher class sites like Indeed and Glassdoor, you can actually find the bigger jobs and the kind of more career standing jobs. And it's always a great place to actually see what kind of work there is on there. If you enjoy video editing, you want more security of a 9-to-5, but working remotely, because that's a lot of the time the best bit about it. Indeed and Glassdoor are the best places to go. Then for my freelancers, you've got a couple of options. You've got People Per Hour, you've got Upwork, and you have Fiverr. On places like People Per Hour, freelance and Upwork, you're going to be finding the individual jobs. These aren't going to be kind of concurrent jobs. You're going to have to work at them. You've got to really work your ass off for them to become kind of concurrent and even win the jobs at start. It can be a bit tooth and nail at the start, but that means it can become more lucrative the further down the road you get. If you get good reviews and get really well noticed on there, you can actually become a higher rated and higher earner on those 3 sites. Then for Fiverr, it's more like creating a beautiful portfolio and really selling yourself on Fiverr for current but different jobs. Is that the best way of saying it? I have no idea. You then have Facebook groups, and I've talked about this again. I can't remember. I don't know which one was it episode 2, I think? And there I talked about how Facebook groups can actually be extremely lucrative to finding some really good jobs, and smaller jobs and bigger jobs, and really making good contacts. I know, Facebook should be dead, but it surprisingly isn't. And then the final one is local businesses. If you really want to elevate yourself as a freelancer and branch yourself out, look at doing local business work. Go to some shops, just walk in, have a talk with them, say that you're interested in doing them a video, and really get yourself out there. This is really important, and it's a good part if you're going to become a freelancer. You have to get used to being confident and talking to people. It's a fact. But a tip that I'm going to interject here is make sure you're looking for work, and you have to be active when looking for work. It unfortunately is part of the job if you're a freelancer. Part of your job description basically is be active with looking for work. Nobody's going to come to you. As much as we put everything in place for that to happen, a lot of the time it's not going to happen. You need to be active with work, and if you're not being active looking for work, then it's just not going to work out. The next point that we're going to be covering is payments. So the first thing I've kind of put down here is how much do you charge and where are you currently at? That basically means how much do you charge and how much are your skills worth? If you're at the current start of your kind of freelance journey, be open to that. Know that you've got to either do some free work or you've got to do some lower paid work compared to a lot of other people. But that's just because you're at the start of it. I think a lot of people mistake themselves as being the CEO and the grandmaster of this entire business when they have only done like one job, or not even that, for their grandma on her birthday in 1987. Know where you're currently at and be open to yourself. It's not bad to not be in the place where you want to be. It's fine, even if it's a little bit longer for you than it is for other people. And going on from that, do you need to create contacts? Do you need to create contacts off doing those free work? Because if you can do some free work to create some contacts, that in fact could be the best piece of the puzzle. You know, if you say to a company, listen, I'm gonna do this first video for free, and if you like it, then we can, you know, look at going forward. Bob's your uncle. And as I said, with kind of creating your social image, it's proof of work. It's showing that you're a professional person. I know a lot of people don't want to be showing their faces and stuff like that, but in places like Upwork, it's a requirement because it's trust factor. You know, are you the same as your identity? That's what a lot of websites cover. And if you're not willing to do that, then a lot of the time you can't be angry if somebody's not going to be as trustworthy because they don't know the face of, you know, imagine if your burger was just coming out of a hole in the wall. You'd be a bit sus, wouldn't you? But the next point is, don't undersell your skills. I paid for this one myself. This is coming from experience. For too long, I classed myself as a lower tier editor when I really shouldn't have been classing myself. That's not me bigging myself up. That's me under bloody paying myself, taking jobs that aren't even worth it. So please, just don't undersell yourself and don't let companies walk all over you, because they're going to try to sometimes, you know. Sometimes you've got to chase payments, and that's a ball ache. And then the final one is for your protection. Do your taxes, because you have to. Right? You got to register as a self-employed in the UK, definitely you have to, and sort your taxes out. Otherwise you'll lose everything. What's the point? Just do it. It's good experience. If you want to run your own company one day, or, you know, take this as a serious business, you're going to have to do it. But then I'm going to talk a little bit about growth. So this is a little bit more philosophical bullcrap, but just stay with me. Where do you want to be? In 1, 2, 5, 10 years time, where do you want to be? It's a very simple question to get yourself on the right track, heading towards the right direction. Where do you see yourself in 2, 5, 10 years? And if you've decided where you want to be in 2, 5, 10 years, then start actively doing it, sorting out your social presence. If you're a bit camera shy, you've got to learn to wipe that out. I know it's a hard pill to swallow, and it's some people just aren't. They just are camera shy. But you have to make the first move. Otherwise, nobody's going to trust you. And like I said, hard pill to swallow. It just means be confident when talking to somebody. You want somebody to spend a lot of money on you, so you've got to make it worth it. And having that connection is part of the process. So going from where do you want to be, you now need to look at how are you going to get there? What are going to be the fundamental things that you put in place for you to start doing that? Are you going to look at some of these routes? Are you going to go freelance? Are you going to go full-time? What are you going to do? Going full-time gives you the experience but locks you off. Going freelance gives you the freedom, but it is a bit more risky. What is the journey that you want to take? Draw it out. In fact, I want you to either draw it out, I want you to comment on it in the comment section of exactly what you're hoping to do in the next 2, 5, and 10 years. And what that makes you is that makes you think about how proactive you want to be. If you're not going to do anything, if you're not going to make the effort for it, then it's fine. Changing your mind of where you want to be is fine. But yeah, there we go. That's my philosophical spiel of the day. And then lastly, I just want to give you some tips and tricks that will help you along the way. The first one is understand editing. Don't just do it. And that means, you know, when I talk about in my live streams, and I talk about how it's all about pacing and the flow of the video, and a lot of the time you could do literally no edits and somebody could be like, that's a very good video, because the edits are almost invisible, because the flow of the video is so well. So that means going out and understanding what good and bad editing is. Can you break down, can you do kind of like dissertations as such on what makes a good and bad edit? In fact, put that down below if you want to talk about what makes an edit good and then edit bad. My third tip is keep learning. A lot of people out there don't want to learn or don't feel like they need to learn. Myself, I still learn. I'm still watching tutorials avidly, learning new tips and tricks, learning new After Effects ways. I'm trying to learn Blender. Yeah, keep learning, because you're only gonna get better, and the more you learning and the better you get, the more money you can make. Sweet money. And then the last point that I'm gonna make is a bit of a philosophical one again. Don't think that you're not good enough, and don't think you're too good. Have an ego to be able to tackle this new task or this new aim that you wanna have, but then also don't be too cocky and thinking that you're insane and your edits are incredible and that you're worth £50,000 an edit when you're not, bud. And so there we go. That is my complete and ultimate guide to becoming a video editor. Yeah, I hope I covered this, most of the things that I wanted to cover. I've listed out, actually did something that I haven't done in ages, which is write things down on a piece of paper. So hopefully I covered it. If I didn't, we'll have to make a part 2 of the ultimate guide of becoming a video editor. Which is why I made this video. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. I will continue making content like this, but obviously it's a bit of a niche topic. This will be the home of of helping you become a freelance video editor, but I look forward to do more content and going on this journey with you. And I also want to just say thank you to the people who messaged me saying that they did get jobs and they got clients through watching my videos and through the help that I've given. It's amazing. It's amazing. So enjoy everything. Enjoy the video. I've got so many more videos. Just go and watch them all. And I will see you in the absolute next one.